What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Before I get into the subject matter at hand, if you want to show love to Too Raw for TV, you want to show your love for this channel and your support for this channel, you can send a donation in the link provided in the description box if you choose to Too Raw for TV. Now, um, look, I thought the Milwaukee Bucks had the potential to win the title this year, man. I really thought that they were going to win this series, but I vastly overestimated the hunger and the toughness and tenacity and the confidence of the Milwaukee Bucks. And I guess vastly underestimated just how great Kawhi Leonard truly is. I've been telling you guys this since the Philly series. When I watch Kawhi Leonard, I'm not saying he's on his level, but when I watch Kawhi Leonard play in this playoffs, he truly does remind me somewhat the way that he plays of the older Jordan, like 98 Jordan, somewhat. I'm not saying he's as good as Michael, but his game, the fluidity of his game, the confidence, um, look, he's basically unstoppable. And what kills me is people that keep saying, well, when he plays against Golden State, look, they're going to shut him down. No, they're not. They're not going to shut him down. I'm not saying Toronto's going to win the series. I think Golden State's going to win. All right? I think they're going to win in 5. If it's more competitive than that, then guess what? Kawhi's better than we think he is. Even better than we think he is. But last time these two teams played against each other in the playoffs, until what was his name? The big goon for the Warriors that wanted to be the Golden State Warriors, Bill Laimbeer. What was his name, man? The center. The big doofus. Well, anyway, until he tripped over, till he kicked, he injured Kawhi Leonard. Remember, Leonard had like 20-some points in 23 points or 26 points early in the third quarter. And remember the Spurs up by 23 points? Then he got injured. And then they went on to win the series. Okay, they're not going to stop Leonard. Leonard, if anything, he's getting better. So what it is that against the Warriors, he's going to need help. They're the top. They're the top team. They're the creme de la creme. He's going to need help, serious help against the Warriors. They have any shot at pulling off the upset. Okay. But getting ahead of myself. Yeah, he does kind of have some. He reminds me of Mike a little bit. But the Toronto Raptors pulled off an upset. Um, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. They did something that no other team did this season, which is beat the Milwaukee Bucks in not just 3 consecutive games, but 4 consecutive games. They got into the Milwaukee Bucks' head. They made them play outside of themselves. They made players play outside themselves. They had these guys second guessing themselves. And defensively, they put on a masterpiece, a clinic on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That was an absolute clinic they put on Giannis. And when that occurs, other guys have to step up. That didn't happen. Not for the most part, it didn't happen. Toronto should have won game 1, but Brook Lopez's 13 points in the fourth quarter and his barrage from outside, saved the day in that game. But other than that, the others, as Shaq likes to say, really didn't step up on a consistent basis in this series. You would have thought that, as well as their bench has played all year, that Milwaukee would have had the edge when it comes to their bench, but it was the Raptors. It was the Raptors, the others for the Raptors that stepped up. Who would have thought as maligned as Kyle Lowry has been in his playoff career, that he would have pretty much dominated that one-on-one matchup with Eric Bledsoe throughout this series. That was pivotal. All right, 30 points in the first game that they had in the bag. They had 27 or something in another game, 25, 17. Kyle Lowry stepped up. Pascal Siakam wasn't super duper, but he was just good enough. Okay, Marc Gasol was sort of inconsistent. Let me look at some of these numbers. He was inconsistent, but he played better after game 3 than he did in the first couple of games. Matter of fact, let me go to Marc Gasol. They didn't really need him. Okay, Pascal Siakam scored 18 points in game 6. Kyle Lowry, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Fred VanVleet, the little munchkin out there, he's been struggling the entire playoffs, but Milwaukee is the team that he decides to just finally, find his jump shot. And Norman Powell was rather quiet the last couple of games, but he did his damage. He did his damage the first 4 games of this series. So you're like, okay, guys, take up the slack for me, and they did. Kawhi Leonard, the same guy that, it's the same guy that so-called experts like Colin Cowherd and the number one Leonard hater, Skip Bayless, like to say he can't pass. Well, he had 7 assists, I believe, correct? So that's 16 assists in the last 2 games, but this is a guy that can't pass. To go on with 27 points and 17 rebounds. I remember Mike, man. I remember Mike in a series against the Atlanta Hawks in '97. I think it was the semifinals. And Dennis Rodman, I think he was injured. And, one of the things that hurt the Chicago Bulls in '95 was the fact they didn't really have a down low presence for rebounding and defense. But I remember Mike in one of those games had like 18 rebounds. And I think in this series, he almost averaged like 10 rebounds a game. And that's kind of remarkable in that era, especially, in that era, with the pace being a lot slower in the late 90s. But still, he averaged almost 10 rebounds a game. That was remarkable for a perimeter player. But, Leonard had to do whatever he had to do to get the win. And his demeanor, his maturity beyond his years, and 70 Sports TV said this in his video, his control, he doesn't seem to get flustered out there. He doesn't panic. If he turns the ball over a couple times, he thinks down the line, okay, well, let me move on. He doesn't linger on the fact that he misses shots. All great scorers have short-term memory when it comes to when they miss shots. A lot of shooters aren't necessarily great scorers because they remember when they missed those last couple of shots. You see, a lot of guys blow up for 40 points, Tracy Murray, when or 50 points, when they score, when they're hitting, 11 out of 13 from downtown. But when they, miss their first 8 shots, they shy away. I don't want the ball, you take it. No, I don't want it. You go ahead and do what you got to do. But Leonard, to me right now, man, I think he's the best player in the NBA, man. I know I've said in the past was Kevin Durant, but I think Kevin Durant is possibly, let me put it like this. I think Kevin Durant is the best and most dominant scorer in the NBA. And he's possibly the best player. But we have to remember, we haven't seen Kevin Durant since earlier in the Rockets series. No, excuse me, in the Rockets series. So we didn't see him the last game with Houston. What was it? The last game with Houston, or the last 2 games with Houston? I think it was the last game with Houston. We didn't see him in the Portland series, and we're not going to see him at least in the beginning of the finals. So I have to take that into account. Then you got to take into the fact that Leonard, I don't like this term two-way player. Look, back in the past, right, when we rated players, we rated how dominant and efficient and, how good they were on both sides of the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't play just offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kawhi Leonard is a beast on the defensive end. He's not the best scorer in the NBA or the best shooter, but he is one of the best scorers and one of the best shooters. And we've seen time and time again that no matter how you game plan this guy, he's kind of like Mike in some ways. I remember this is how Mike used to score his points when he got older. He paced himself. Mike might go off for 18 in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, he might pace himself. Okay. Might score just 4 points. Play within the offense. Third quarter, he might score, depending on the situation. If the Bulls are up, he might only score 5 points. So he only has, let me see, 18, 4, 20, 22, 27, right? But he's going to kill him in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, he wants the basketball. So he's scoring 10, 12 points. Then you look like, damn, how the fuck Mike get 40? You know what I'm saying? Kawhi's kind of like that. And I don't want to keep overdoing this. You know what I'm saying? But I think this guy's going to be one of the great players, man. If help permitting, he's going to be one of the great players. Now, for the Milwaukee Bucks, look. You can't get too down. You had a great season. This was the best season the Milwaukee Bucks have had. Shit. At least since 2001. Probably, well, yeah, since 2001. And regular season wise, this is the most successful season you guys had in nearly 40 years. So, and you look at Giannis, he's going to get better. The guy's only 23, 24 years old. People are really hard on this dude, man. This guy's still just a baby. He has a lot of room for improvement. I'm pretty sure he knows that. This series exposed his limitations in the post. Okay, it exposed that. Giannis does need to develop some type of post game. I think he needs to develop. He doesn't need to be Akeem Olajuwon. He doesn't need to be Dirk Nowitzki or Sam Perkins from outside. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need it. Would help if he could have a dependable outside shot. Yes, but if he could just develop a jump hook, um, a post fadeaway shot. Just a couple of moves. You know what I'm saying? They don't need a plethora of moves. Just enough to throw the defense off whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they can't just play you one way. You know what I'm saying? But I really think with his length and his size, he definitely needs to develop some type of jump hook. Definitely. Shit, man, bring back the sky hook, man. I don't know why people don't. I don't understand why guys with the length of like Giannis. You look at Kareem. I'm not saying he's good as Kareem. I'm not saying that. But you look at his size. He's slender. I mean, that's the perfect shot, man. It's the perfect shot. But you know what? Kareem worked on that shot ever since he was a kid. Giannis wouldn't be able to perfect that shot for years. But you know what? Akeem Olajuwon worked on all of his shit for years and years. When he came to the NBA, he didn't have all those moves. He worked on that shit for years. You know what I'm saying? So if Giannis wants to be great, by the time he's in his early 30s, he needs to work on that shit now. You know what I'm saying? When I was talking about the post fadeaway, I'm thinking about the turnaround jumper like Elvin Hayes used to have. Elvin Hayes used to kill motherfucker with a turnaround jump shot. in the post. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. The Toronto Raptors, you know what I'm saying? Look, I don't see them beating Golden State, but then again, I didn't see them beating Milwaukee. So who knows? And they do have home court advantage. They have home court advantage, so you never know, man. You just never know. I don't think they're gonna beat them, but you never know. Look, I didn't think that the Detroit Pistons were gonna beat that Laker team in 2004. I distinctly remember having a conversation at work one time when that finals year began, and I remember saying, man, these motherfuckers are gonna have a shot against these Lakers. I said, damn. I said, Carmelo Gary get his ring. I said, Gary Payton Gary get his ring. And no, they didn't. Well, Peyton got his later on, but the Pistons pull off a huge upset. So we'll see, man. Tell me what you guys think.